Well, good evening, everyone. Thank you for being here tonight. My name is Drew Davis, and I am the Assistant Superintendent for Innovation and Operation here in the Buckeye Elementary School District. And tonight I have the opportunity to share with you the proposed attendance area boundaries for our newest school opening in August of 2021, John S. McCain III Elementary School. Before I dive into my presentation, though, do want to give a couple special guests an introduction. Um, Principal Kevin Bolger from WestPark. Kevin, would you have a moment to welcome our audience tonight?
Yes, absolutely. Welcome, all the parents and those in attendance this evening. Thank you for joining us. I'm super excited about John S. McCain the third, and I know that Principal Sigelka is going to do a fantastic job over there. But thank you so much for joining us to hear all about our fantastic new school that's opening up soon. We hope we can answer all of your questions and put you at ease, and we'll navigate through this together. And thank you for being here this evening. I really appreciate it.
Thank you very much, Principal Bolger. And now I'd like to introduce the principal of John S. McCain Elementary School, Dina Sigelka. Dina, would you like to welcome our guests tonight?
Yes, hello everyone, and thank you again for coming. We know it's a whole new world in this virtual setting, so we appreciate you taking the time and coming to learn more about this amazing new school. So thank you so much. And at the end, if you have any other questions, I would love to answer anything you guys still have questions on. So welcome.
Great. Thank you very much, Principal Sigelka. And thank you, community members, for being a part of tonight's meeting. Let's see. Going to advance the slide here. As soon as I can. There we go. Well, very good. Well, again, welcome everyone, and I want to review what we're going to be doing here tonight. First of all, wanted to share the proposed boundary area with you, and then talk a little bit about the rationale behind this new proposed attendance boundary. We want to also share with everyone tonight the enrollment options that families have for the 21-22 school year. Tonight, we are addressing the WestPark community, and for those students who will now fall in the John S. McCain attendance area, they're going to have a choice to make. We're going to close tonight with an introduction to John S. McCain Elementary from Principal Sigelka. And at the very end, we'll talk a little bit about the timeline and also give the community an opportunity to give us some feedback on what you think of the proposed boundary adjustments. And that will inform our governing board, who will ultimately make the decision to approve the proposed new boundaries. So that's a little bit of our agenda for tonight. So to get us started and just oriented, this is our current attendance boundary map. And you can see that to the right of WestPark is another schoolhouse that has kind of a green background to it. And that's the location of John S. McCain Elementary School. Perhaps as you have been navigating the construction on Miller, you've been able to look to the side of the road and see the walls of the building quickly going up. So we're excited about the progress that are on the construction side of things. But you now have a pretty good orientation as to where the school site is. So in our proposal, there are 3 schools that are having their attendance areas impacted: Inca, Jasinski, and WestPark. And on this map, you can see where those impacts are. So for Inca, the red circles indicate how they're being impacted, the green for Jasinski, but tonight we're focused on WestPark. So this is the proposed attendance boundary map. And I'll go into a couple of details. So first of all, the JSM boundary area is currently mostly undeveloped land. And all of the 21-22 attendance area students will be bused to the school. We anticipate a lot of open enrollment, as there are some special aspects that are unique to McCain that we think a lot of our families in Buckeye are going to be interested in participating in. There is, although most of the land is undeveloped, there is a lot of growth in the area. Village at Sundance has broken ground, and that falls in the McCain attendance area, as does Desert Moon. And we anticipate new students from those developments in 2022. And then as developments continue over the next few years, we expect JSM to be at capacity fairly quickly. So here is a detail of the impact on the WestPark attendance area. And really this affects WestPark students and families that live east of Miller Road. And that includes the developed areas of Buckeye North, Leaf Verde, and Buena Vista. Here's a look at the Jasinski impact and the Inca impact. So from the current enrollment, John S. McCain's going to draw approximately 171 students from their current school. And here's a breakdown of that enrollment. So for WestPark, you can see that, for example, just reading this graph or this grid here, 10 kindergartners live in that attendance area that will now be in the John S. McCain attendance area. And if you go along, you can see 7 first graders, 5 second graders, so on and so forth, all the way over to a total of approximately 79 students are now in the John S. McCain attendance area. Now, that being said, our intent as a district is for those students who want to remain at WestPark, we will continue and provide that option to our families. So even if you are in the John S. McCain attendance area, but would prefer to stay at WestPark, we'll talk a little bit later about how to go about making that happen. But that is an option for our families. This next map and this next picture, this will show you, this is a heat map of projected enrollment for the next 5 years. And you can see in the center of that map, there is a lot of red, and that means a lot of students for our district. And so one of the rationales for our boundary adjustments are to address our growing community. And you can see that although McCain is certainly going to help this growth, that our district is still going to be impacted by growth in other areas. When you look at, for example, the Bales or Buckeye enrollment over the next 5 years due to new developments, you can see that there is going to be some serious growth in the area. However, we already have a school site to alleviate that. So Bales and Buckeye will not be at necessarily those enrollment numbers because we will have school number 9 to address those that population explosion in that area. So I alluded to the fact that our families have some options. And so, first of all, for families in the new attendance area who are joining JSM, you have no further action to take. The registration and student information will transfer from WestPark to John S. McCain. It will be seamless. And throughout the course of the spring, you will be notified of as we because we're doing a lot of planning right now. As soon as we finish planning, you'll be notified of school start and end times, all the bus routes, and the fun stuff that comes with opening a new school. We need a lot of input and a lot of support, and it's a lot of fun to celebrate the opening of a new school. And we want our boundary students and our boundary families to be a part of it. However, we do have the option for families that want to stay at their current school. If you want to stay at WestPark, all you need to do is contact your school's office and they'll walk you through the process. It's very simple, but we provide that option to our families. So a little bit about the timeline, how we got to where we are here today. Over the fall, we developed the proposal and presented it in January to the governing board. Then we also shared it with building and district leadership. And right now, we are in the middle of our community meeting where we are talking about these changes, and we want to get some input and feedback from you, the families in WestPark, about the boundary changes so that we can share that with the governing board. Also going on in January, February are going to be enrollment and registration drives for the new school. And ultimately in March, which is just hard to believe, just a few weeks away, at our Monday, March 1st board meeting, one of the agenda items will include approving this proposed boundary change. And tonight, any feedback that is provided in our meeting this evening will be shared with the governing board to help inform their decision. So that's all the information about the boundary changes. We did want to spend just a few minutes to talk about John S. McCain III. And we have Principal Sigelka here. And so I'm going to turn the presentation over to her, and she's going to share some information about the school.
Thank you, Dr. Davis. Well, again, I'm so fortunate and so blessed to have been named the principal for John S. McCain Elementary School. And I'm so excited to see parents in this meeting because we are very excited that hopefully you'll be joining our school community in the fall. And so at John S. McCain, we're trying to create a totally different school situation for our students. And by doing that, we want to follow this creed of understanding our past, exploring our present, and shaping our future. And so here are some of the highlights for our school. We are going to be a C-STEM school. And so you're going to see lots of science and technology built in, but yet with a undercurrent of humanities. And so a strong, deep love of history will also be present in the school as well. And so you will see things like robotics infused in coding instruction practices. There will be different opportunities for project-based learning, as well as different collaboration skills. And so all the teachers will be trained using the Kagan strategies. So lots of collaboration happening inside of all our classrooms, kindergarten all the way up through 8th grade. There will be Z-spaced learning laboratories. I talked a little bit already about project-based learning. We will be working through the habits of success, so really giving our students what they need to be successful, not just in elementary school, not even just in high school, but also when they leave high school, when they go to college or career readiness, wherever that leads them. So we want to give them the skills that they need to be successful as they move forward through life. Just like all of the Buckeye schools, we will still be positive behavior intervention supports, or what you may know as PBIS. We are going to be really doing some deep dives into some different humanities pieces. We want to have student voice and choice present throughout our entire school. And that's another thing that I would love to welcome your voice on. As we continue the planning process for John S. McCain, I welcome parents to be involved in that as well. We want to hear you and what you would love to see embedded into the fabric of this school as well. There will be tons of collaboration spaces, and in a minute I'll show you some of the mock-ups of what the inside of the building will look like. And it is a free C-STEM school in the West Valley. So Dr. Davis, if you will do the next slide. So here's just a few images of what the inside of the school will look like. It's not going to be identical to this, but this was some great renderings of what some of the different furniture choices and just the layout will be at John S. McCain Elementary School. So as you can see, lots of different large-scale spaces for creating and making to happen. And we just can't wait to get into the building and to start the amazing process of learning and growing. I believe that's what I have in there. Let me see. But I'm welcome to answer any questions that you might have about JSM. Thank you.
Great. Thank you, Principal Sigelka. And so the rest of our time this evening is really geared towards our audience. And what we would love to hear is any feedback that you may have regarding the boundary adjustments. Principal Sigelka is here to answer any questions you may have about the school, but would really just like to open it up to anyone who would like to certainly use the chat to ask a question. And Doreen, I am sorry that you're having so many problems with the display, but we will post this presentation on the website, and there will be a copy of the presentation that you can view. So again, apologies for the technology struggles, but we will certainly share this information out. So that being said, are there any comments from our audience tonight? I do also want to share that there is an opportunity to provide some feedback online. If you go to the John S. McCain website and click on the community meetings, there is a link that will allow you to provide some feedback. So if there aren't any questions or any input tonight, this isn't your only chance. We will have that we'll have that link and that survey open until March 1st. So if there's any additional feedback, we'll certainly want to share that with the board. That does conclude the formal presentation for tonight. I'm going to stay online for the rest of the hour. If anyone has any questions or concerns or input, I'm available, and I just really want to appreciate everyone being here tonight, and it is so exciting to open a new school, and for those students who are in the attendance area, for those students who are going to open and roll into the school, it is an adventure, and it's a lot of fun, and it's such a rare opportunity to be at a school on the first day that it's ever opened, and so we're looking forward to that day in early August. So again, thank you for being here. I'm going to stay on the line. If you have any questions, happy to chat with you. And again, thank you for being here tonight and your support of Buckeye Elementary School District.